what would be, I don't know, like an inflection point in the science community that could help proliferate like these more cutting edge frontier technologies, and because you said it's kind of slowed down, so what can kind of stop that stagnation? And
well, so one thing is to do with a combination of funding and organization. Scientific research ought to be organized in the form of where the fundamental unit is the research group. So if the research group could be one person, in which case that person should be free to do whatever that person wants to do. Or it could be a group, in which case that person, it should have a leader who decides who they want to work with. But the organizational structure should be flat, so that the leader is the one that talks to the funders. But apart from that, everyone, when they're actually in the lab or in front of the whiteboard, everybody's equal. So that's one thing. Another thing, this may sound like a very parochial issue, but I think they ought to leave graduate students alone. There's been a sort of mission creep in universities where it used to be like when I was a graduate student, it was taken for granted that you were an undergraduate, and then either you went in, if you wanted to do research, you would go into research and you would start on day one being in some research group or working on some problem of your own or whatever it was, or you would first have to do an MSc and then start being a proper graduate student. But now, graduate students are, from the point of view of the research itself, they are not in a creative role. They're in a subordinate role. It's hard enough for people who come out of, say, a school with its regimented structure to do research, to build up on the on-ramp of an undergraduate degree, to actually do creative research. But this has been made harder and harder by more and more burdens being placed on graduate students. And then it doesn't stop with graduate students. Postdocs now have to spend a significant proportion of their time meeting irrelevant requirements from their departments, from the funders, from the government, whoever's in charge of them. So there's somebody who is called a postdoctoral researcher. That is, doctor means learned. They're a learned person. They've become a learned person. They're supposed to be doing research and creating new knowledge. Their job description says that they're supposed to create new and original knowledge, and yet they have to spend most of their time meeting existing criteria. That's not creativity. So those are a couple of things. No doubt there are many more.